Welcome to the Divine FemiNest Podcast. I'm your host, Sirona West. I'm a psychic medium, Akashic Records healer, spiritual mentor, intuitive counselor, and author. This podcast is a love letter to myself, my children, and those of you who have experienced loss so great that you don't know if you can ever come back from it. I'm sharing parts of me in this show as a sort of collage through personal stories and lessons from my own life, through reading my favorite books, and hosting guests who have their own beautiful stories of overcoming, who inspire me as they courageously and authentically offer their gifts of healing with the world. All of these layers are here to remind you of the powerful and infinite being you are, and that your pain can be the roadmap to the new reality you choose to create. Join me on this journey of remembrance of who I am as a soul, a healer, and a divine feminine master in training. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of the Divine FemiNest Podcast. So, the inspiration for this podcast has come about through a few different things. Earlier this year, actually the end of last year, 2023, I was introduced to this amazing book called the Sophia Code. My friend Sajada gifted it to me, and it is this living transmission of the divine feminine ascended masters. So Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, Isis, Hathor, White Buffalo Woman. I think I left one out. But anyway, it's this beautiful transmission written by Kaya Ra, is I believe the way that she pronounces her name. And this book is so powerful. I can't even describe the energy that comes off of the book when you read it. So when it is the right time for this book to enter your life, it will find you. And basically, it is a mentorship with these divine feminine ascended masters. And in it, they describe through these channeled messages that there are certain mentors, masters that you'll be drawn to work with as you go through. And so I really connected with Mother Mary, and she truly has been mentoring me through my meditations and downloads, conversations, in addition to the amazing transmission that comes through in that book. And so over these last 6 months or so, I've really gotten this inspiration for working more with these divine feminine ascended masters. And they really emphasize their accessibility to us here now. And they emphasize how they understand what it is to be human. They understand what it is to walk on the earth. They understand what it is to be in immense pain and agony. They have incredible stories of loss and heartache and tragedy, and these incredible heart openings. That's the common experience. Their hearts are broken open, and that's what they came to experience. And I resonate with that so much because I feel like I've lived multiple lifetimes just in these 40 years that I've been here this time around. Of course, I have memories and experiences of past and parallel lifetimes with the work that I do and the healing that I've been exposed to. And so there's that. But it really feels like this lifetime I came to experience heart opening after heart opening after heart opening. I'll describe it like that. And so I have many stories to share. There's one story that has been the most prevalent for me the last 7-8 years. And it's a journey that I will share on this podcast. But there are many, many stories that make up my journey, starting from when I was very young. And I want to offer these as a gift to anyone who can find themselves in these stories. And I think that there are a lot of people that can. That's why I'm called to share what I've been through. That's why my experiences have been so extreme, because they are examples of the depths of the pain that we can experience and the incredible transformation, transmutation, healing that we can find out of those depths. It's time for me to speak despite the hesitation and the fear of how it will land, of how it will be received, of how I will be perceived. I had this really beautiful breathwork session on the beach, and there were a couple of things that I saw and experienced during that session. And one of the most profound things was I saw myself sharing these stories, and I was seated in front of a group of people, and I was feeling judged and exposed. And then it became clear to me that all of those people that were watching me, looking at me, kind of maybe glaring at me, were just myself. All of my fears, all of my hesitation about being seen is just that. So I thank you for coming on this journey with me as I just sort of intuitively flow with what wants to come at any given moment. There's not an outline, a lesson plan. There will be different things that I present, stories, things that are happening in my present moment, and stories of things I've experienced along the way. Some of these include my experiences as a child, what it feels like to be a very intuitive, very sensitive child in a family where that's not really encouraged. So, open communication about why things are the way they are, questions about why things are the way they are, just kind of pushed to the side, and learning as a child that being quiet is easier. It doesn't feel good in my body, but it's just easier. And that's what is expected. It makes grown-ups feel uncomfortable, irritated, impatient when a child is too curious or when a child is questioning the way that things are done. I will also share how I have been in lots of relationships that are imbalanced, unhealthy relationships. I will share about how I met my father when I was about 19. I discovered that I had 3 brothers I never knew about. I will share how I lost one of those brothers several years later. His life was cut very short. I will share how I felt really different growing up because I was a mixed kid growing up in a white family, how we seemed to have money for the first sort of half of my young life. And then around age 10, we seemed to kind of lose it. And our lifestyle really changed. And all of those experiences left me feeling like I wasn't really sure where I belonged or where I fit in. I was definitely very defensive. I took my frustration out on my younger sister. And I will also share about how I ultimately ended up finding someone to have children with who wasn't very nice. And before even getting out of that relationship, hopped right into another relationship that was also very unhealthy. I got married, and have now lost my spouse to cirrhosis of the liver. She was an alcoholic and an addict. I have also now lost custody of my children. I haven't seen them in a year and a half. And before that, I was living in hiding with them for 2 years, doing everything I could in my human power to protect them from being abused by their father, who now has custody of them again. So this could all be super depressing and feel like a hopeless story. Could totally feel like, why would I ever want to listen to this? I am just going to sit here and cry. But the gifts, the beauty of these stories is that I have come to know and love myself just as I am. I have come to discover who I am in all my expansiveness. And I have truly fallen in love with life, with the gifts that I came to bring. And I have created a new story. So things may not be perfect. They might not look the way that I want them to look. But I have been in the process of rewriting this story. I know that I can start again, and I am creating the story that there is only peace, there is only beauty, reconciliation, hope, love, healing, joy, creation. These are the gifts that we came to experience. And they are so much more beautiful and appreciated and understood when we have dug deep, when we have planted ourselves deep in the dirt, cultivating these beautiful, thick roots so that we can grow nice and tall and flourish and bloom. So I'm excited for you to go on this journey with me. I'm excited to share my journals with you. I'm excited to share my experiences, my conversations, some really beautiful, beautiful things, and to invite you to some of the gatherings that I'll be hosting virtually and in person. I want people who are feeling hopeless in hopeless situations to know that you're not alone, that the point of everything that you've gone through, that you're going through, is to strengthen you, to help you become more of who you are. Your soul, made this plan before you incarnated here. And there's a big story, a big tapestry that your soul is weaving together across all of your lifetimes, past, parallel, future, in other dimensions, in all the ways that you're expressing, the infinite ways that you're expressing in the universe. And let's dig in and discover the gifts. Let's discover together the gifts that you came here to offer. As you start to hear reflections of yourself, your experience, even if it's in the smallest way, you can relate to the feelings of hopelessness and loss and confusion and darkness. And you can discover beautiful tools to bring you back and discover the process of alchemizing that pain into your greatest strength. So join me on the next episode. Very soon, we're going to be reading You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, which I'm offering in the Divine Feminist Gathering happening 2 Saturdays a month. And the information for that to join us will be in the show notes. You can also find the information at sironawest.com. So that is a book club and a healing circle. And we commune with the divine feminine ascended masters inside of the Akashic records, hold each other in the nest healing circle. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful time. So I hope you'll join us, and I will see you back here next time. Namaste, sending you so much love.